Hi, Paul Slakis, Good News Broadcast, Good News Planet, and Pause the World for Peace. And we're going to talk about very important information here, safety strategies in the upcoming holiday months, or I would say any time of the year and any part of your life. These are very serious, and we have a lot of real good information. I'd like to get right to it, and it's coming to us through Michael Tully, who's the United States Army's Reserve Command and Safety Director. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Paul. I'm great. How are you?
Okay, good. So I lost my family. We lost a building over a fire, and my father's shoe business. And so when I was in high school, I'll never forget it. And these are serious things that some people, we all, I guess, in our way of life, sometimes forget about. So tell us some of the important information that people should pay attention to.
Okay. So we'll go into holiday tips for the home first. So safety always starts with a plan: the who, the what, the where, the why, and the how. Outdoor decorations tend to normally involve ladders, so we want to make sure that we have an assistant holding the ladder while we're up on the ladder. And then we always want to make sure that we don't reach beyond our arm while we're centered on the ladder so we don't end up falling off the ladder. Indoor decorations, we have to be mindful that children and pets are going to be very interested in our indoor decorations. I have a cat, and he loves cords. So I have to be mindful of how those cords are laid out so they don't become a tempting toy. So my advice for that is to make sure that you're watching your pets and your children to see how they're interacting with the decorations, and then adjust from there. We can go on to traveling.
In my mind, I just saw National Lampoon's Chevy Chase on a ladder, about 40 feet tall, putting lights on his house. When you're talking about that, I'm saying, it's gonna, and the ladder went down all the way down. That definitely is a smart one, right?
Right. Yeah, and if you notice during the movie, he had all kinds of things plugged into one thing, and that's a great way to start a fire. And that's how many fires start: is cords being overloaded, and they heat up, and then the combustible material around them catches fire, and then all of a sudden your house burns down.
I one time interviewed the head of the Red Cross. He said 90% of the work they do is household fires, and most of it was extension cords, or those strip things. Got to be careful, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. What else? You got great stuff here.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about traveling. So I like to use the 3 Ps: the plan, prepare, and patience part. Patience.
Excuse me, I interrupted you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But you did say something about a Christmas tree. I think you were getting to say something about it. I mean, those can go on fire, right?
Whenever we use a live Christmas tree, we want to make sure that it is always watered, and that when the needles start coming off in our hands is when it's time to remove the Christmas tree, so that it does not become the source of the fire that burns down your house.
There you go. Okay.
So getting back to traveling. Like I said, I like to use the 3 Ps: plan, prepare, and patience. And planning is planning your route, knowing where you're going, knowing how you're going to get there, what the weather is at your destination, and as well as through your route. And then prepare your vehicle. You want to inspect the tires, the brakes, the windshield wipers, the lights, to make sure everything's in good working order. And then have a mechanic look over your engine and transmission and make sure you're not going to have a breakdown. And then prepare yourself. Get a good night's sleep before you plan your trip or before you go on your trip, because a good night's sleep will go a long way to arriving alive. And then patience. There are a lot of people traveling. There's more traffic during Thanksgiving than most times of the year. So patience is going to go a long way in planning extra time for the weather, the rest stops, and traffic will have you arriving at your destination in good spirits.
You know, there's a commercial. Oh, sorry. Go on. Sorry.
I'm sorry. And as always, just don't drink and drive.
Yeah, there's a new commercial that was actually something I was going to say. There's a commercial that's being played quite often here in the New York area, with a guy doing some push-ups and like smacking his face and putting water on his face, you know. And basically, the commercial says, if you're doing this and you're nodding off, you are too drunk to drive. Period.
Absolutely.
So this is a serious one, right? The texting and driving, that's another silly thing, right?
Distracted driving takes, about 42,000 Americans lost their lives on American highways in 2022, and we don't want to become one of those statistics.
Not at all. Well, this is wonderful from the safety director of the U.S. Army Reserve Command. What else do we have? And thank you so much.
Okay, food safety. So we don't want to get sick. We don't want to burn down our house, and so food safety. I like to cook my turkey in a bag in the oven. A lot of people like to cook their turkey with a turkey fryer. Now, Thanksgiving Day has about 3 times as many fires as any normal day of the year. So turkey fryers are part of that culprit. So we want to make sure that those fryers are 20 feet away from any structure, and we keep any combustible materials away from them. We always want to make sure that our turkey is completely thawed before dropping it into that oil. Using a tripod to lower your turkey into the fryer and to raise it out of the fryer will help avoid splashovers. And then keeping the oil around 350 degrees will also help. We also want to make sure that we consume our food and put it into the refrigerator within 2 hours. And then any leftovers that we have, we want to eat within 4 days, and that'll keep our food from getting too much bacteria and causing illness. Indoor cooking, we always want to minimize the distractions in the kitchen, not to leave food unattended on the stove, and always be prepared to put out a grease fire, because a grease fire can get out of hand real quick and ruin your holiday celebration. So
we have a fire extinguisher. There's different kinds of fire extinguishers, aren't there? One that are like A, B, and C, or something like that?
Yep. There are all kinds of fire extinguishers. In commercial use, we use a K in the kitchen, type K. But to put out grease fires, you want to have a Class B fire extinguisher, baking soda, salt, or anything, even a pan lid to extinguish the flames.
And you should check that fire extinguisher every once in a while. Is something like that? Is that helpful?
Absolutely, because a fire extinguisher that is in not working order is not going to be very much help.
There you go. That's for sure. Well, any other? I mean, these are every single one of them could save someone's life that you've mentioned here so far. Tell me about unless there's any more, because these are so important. Any other thoughts that you'd like to share? Then I'd ask you some stuff about the U.S. Army Reserve Command Safety Director. What are you doing over there?
Okay. Well, let me get to avoiding being a target for the holidays, and then I'll tell you all about me.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So thieves like to prey on people that are not paying attention. So situational awareness here is your friend. If we're online shopping, we want to make sure that we're on a secure website, so we always want to look for that HTTPS at the beginning of our web page. And if the deal looks too good to be true, it might be a scam. We want to collect our packages off the porch as soon as they arrive, so we don't give porch pirates a chance to enrich their holidays at our expense. When we're shopping in person, we want to make sure that nobody is following us to the car, and when we leave the shopping center, we want to make sure that nobody is following us home. When we're done celebrating, when we've opened up all our gifts, and we don't want to advertise to the community what we got, because that's an open invitation for thieves to come in and steal it. So what we want to do is box up that material, break down the boxes so that people can't tell what we got. Put it into a bag or take it out just before the trash collector gets there, because it makes you less of a target. And if we're traveling during the holidays, we don't want to post our social media until after we get back from the holidays. So telling somebody you're in Belize instead of Mississippi is just an open invitation for somebody to break into your house. Okay.
Even if you're a superstar, even if yesterday's story is 4 superstars got hit with the unfortunate scenario of break-ins into their homes. Not good news. Not nice.
Yep, not good news, especially around the holidays.
By far.
So a little bit about me.
Yeah, please. A safety director. I'm telling people all the time. Well, I was just at the Veterans Parade here and there, and the Army Reserve is there, and so on and so forth. But the Army Reserve has, I don't know, it's 150, 160 different kinds of jobs, let's call them, right? So what does a safety director do? So
what I do is I provide policy, manpower, and resources to subordinate commands across the globe to protect their people, their equipment, and complete their mission without unnecessary risk. Risk management is the tool that the Army Reserve uses to prevent mishaps to accomplish our mission, which is delivering combat-ready forces to the Army combat commands. So risk management is the greatest tool we have in our quiver, and that is, assessing the risk, developing control measures, implementing those control measures, and then checking up to make sure those control measures are actually working.
Would you say, I guess in closing here, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure?
Absolutely. If we can prevent the mishap from happening, we'll save our soldiers, our equipment, and we'll be more ready for the mission at hand.
Okay, I feel like the guys are in good and girls are in a good hands with you.
Well, I appreciate that, sir. To learn more about the Army Reserve, you can visit usar.army.mil. And if you want more safety tips, you can visit the Army Reserve Facebook page for Safety Saturdays.
All righty. Quickie, if somebody wants to go into the reserves and they're interested in your area, that's a possibility?
Yes, absolutely. I have 96 Army Reserve safety civilians working at the subordinate organizations, and we're always hiring. So if you're interested in safety, you can look on USA Jobs to find out where the positions are open and how to apply.
There you go. Thank you so much. I salute you.
Hey, thank you very much, sir, and thank you to your audience, because without them, we wouldn't be here.
I agree with you. All righty, you're keeping us safe, and the U.S. Army Reserve as well. Thank you so much.
Have a great day.